What is up guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Today I will show you how to make your videos look a bit vintage and retro looking to simulate the effect of a Super 8 camera or even a VCR. Using those effects carries a lot of nostalgia as they remind people of old home movies, and they can make your videos stand out and feel a lot less overproduced and more relatable, no matter if you are uploading to YouTube or making reels for Instagram or even TikTok. Now, in order to sell that effect, we need to use a combination of shooting techniques, and we are going to add some post-production effects by using overlays and other editing assets that I sourced from Motion Array, who were also kind enough to make today's video possible. But more to that later. So first things first, let's talk about the settings you need to change within your camera or phone. Camera technology has evolved like crazy in recent years, and digital images tend to be super sharp and stabilized these days. And I feel that people have started to look for alternatives and other ways to make things look a bit more vintage. Now, camera stabilization didn't exist back in the days. So in order to make a retro effect look convincing, you want things to look a bit shaky, obviously. So the first thing you have to do is disable stabilization within your camera or phone and also on your camera lens. Sweet, that's an easy one. The next thing, you want to make sure to make absolutely no cinematic smooth movements that you would normally do and that you would normally see in a modern style video, because you want things to look deliberately amateur, if that makes sense. A cool technique that really screams like VCR and retro, in my opinion, is focusing on stuff like landmarks or palm trees and then cranking up and down the zoom on your lens. Kind of like your dad used to do on a home video back in the days. And that really sells the effect, in my opinion. Okay, let's talk about frame rates. The thing you want to avoid is using cinematic frame rates like slow motion, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second. Old cameras didn't have that, and they tend to drop a few frames while recording even. So don't even use 30 frames per second. You want things to look a bit choppy, so you want to shoot at 24 frames per second if possible. Also, you want to create motion blur. That means don't use an extremely fast shutter speed if you can. Now let's think about the aperture. You want to avoid super low apertures because they will make your videos look super sharp and expensive. Plus, old school cameras generally didn't look that way, so I would recommend shooting around f9 or something like that. Now, with the recording settings out of the way, let's talk about the look and feel and colors of the picture that we want to emulate, okay? Another important setting that you want to change is the in-camera sharpening, which is a pretty big giveaway of a digital device. Digital cameras are incredibly sharp, and that look and feel didn't exist back in the days. So make sure you enter your camera menu and then you decrease the contrast and sharpness all the way to the lowest possible setting, okay? Okay, now once you finished shooting your footage, let's bring it into Premiere Pro and I will show you a few tips and tricks for color grading. First of all, let's create an adjustment layer to separate the color grade from the main video and choose a video preset that is already built into Premiere that emulates a bit the look and feel of Fuji Film. All I have to do is I navigate to the Lumetri panel, then I click the Creative tab, and there I find a number of LUTs that are based on film. So as you can see here, they're called either Kodak or Fuji, and I find that a pretty good starting point. So let's choose the Fuji one right here. Next, you want to make sure that the image doesn't have highlights that are too blown out, as this is a big giveaway that you are seeing a digital image and not film. And you want to make sure that the midtones and shadows are not too dark, because vintage footage and film generally tends to look a little bit washed out. Another thing that you can do is adding a bit of magenta into the shadows, purple into the midtones, and green into the highlights, but it is up to you how extreme you want the colors to look, if you know what I mean. I personally like the function shadow and highlight tint to do that, but once again, you want to be a little bit careful doing that. And all you have to do is just you go to this color wheel right here and you click and just kind of hold and drag and drop that a little bit into the corner of the color you want to add to the shadows, for example. But as I said, be a little bit subtle with that, because if it's too much, then it looks rather fake. Another thing that I always like to do is add film grain in Premiere Pro, and it's super easy actually. So what I have to do is go to the effect panel and I just type in grain, and then I drag and drop that and set the grain to as much as I like. So usually a value of like 10 doesn't look too over the top. If you want to make it super vintage, you can also add a blur to the entire image. All you have to do is select Gaussian blur, drag and drop that, and then set it to around 4 pixels for the entire image. If you want to make it less extreme and make only the edges softer to simulate a vintage lens, then you can draw a mask around the center of the image, keep that part a little bit sharper. So what I do is I create a mask and then I choose the oval mask, drag and drop that around. Then I just want to make sure that the feather is set to a really high value, basically blends in that blurriness on the edges. So I select something like 100 or 150. Boom. Okay, next let's talk about overlays. VCR, letterbox, scratches, light leaks and Super 8 sound. The next step is where the real magic happens, and we're going to throw some cool overlays on top of the entire footage to give it that real vintage effect. Technically, you can find these kind of effects all over the internet with varying prices, sometimes even for free. However, my go-to source for these super stylistic effects is motionary.com, because they got a cool all-you-can-eat subscription plan which gives me unlimited access to all kinds of editing assets, which speeds up my workflow, and I don't have to waste time searching all over the internet and pay every single time I need a particular editing asset. In this particular example, I used a letterbox effect, scratches and light leaks from Motionary. All I did is typing in keywords like Super 8 on the platform, and then I can choose from a number of assets. In this case, I downloaded a bunch of stock video files that I can throw on top of my main video. Now, all you want to do is change the blend mode so both elements are visible. Kinda depends on how bright the overlay is, and you have to experiment a little bit, but I personally feel like settings like either overlay, pin light or soft light work in a lot of cases for me. Okay, next let's speak about sound. Another element that I feel really helps to sell the effect is having matching sound effects. And all I did is type in Super 8 projector or motion array and have that sound play in the background, so it adds a feeling of nostalgia. I also made sure to add a subtle reverb so the sound effect isn't too loud. Now, before we get to the bonus tip, I wanted to say massive thanks to Motionary for the finishing touches on the vintage sequence and making this video possible. If you are interested, getting a subscription to a super useful platform like Motionary, good news, it's quite affordable. As I said, Motionary is a one-stop shop for video editors with thousands of assets, and the platform is membership based. That means you can download as much as you like and you only have to pay once. And the subscription is pretty affordable. Right now they got a special deal, so if you choose their annual plan, it costs about $20 per month, which is, I guess, less than the price for a preset that I purchased in the past. And if you use the link below my video, it will knock off additional $50 off the price tag, so it gets even cheaper. Okay, time for the bonus tip, and that is one of my favorite ones. Remember when we spoke about how vintage cameras tend to drop some frames and create that jerky, jittery effect? You can fake that in post-production very easily, and Premiere Pro has a function that allows you to slow down the frame rate. So all you've got to do is type in Posterize time in the effects panel, and then you drag and drop that, and now I can decrease the frame rate to say like 14 frames or so to make the footage more stylized and artistic. If you found value in this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, because it helps the video to get seen by the YouTube algorithm. And if you want more stuff like this, you can subscribe to the channel. You don't have to, but if you want to, it would make me really, really happy. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. It's really nice to have you here, and I'll catch you guys one of the next ones.